Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Choosing You podcast, coming home to who you really are. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about living in limbo, the hidden hell of anxious decision making. And this is actually a follow up to the previous episode of last week when we were talking about toxic relationships, how we are shaped from the very childhood and how this is all going into our everyday life and all the different relationships we have throughout our life. But today I would like to take a more broader look on how our decisions are made, why we think the way we think, and why this is a hamster wheel where we are trapped. If we don't do anything, we are trapped for life, and why we are having this realization in every relationship we step in. In the beginning, everything seems perfect and fine, but the pattern repeats itself each and every time, and the loops are the same, and we are wondering, those are different people, different circumstances, but we end up in the same situations. So we're thinking, how do we end up again here when we actually wanted to do things differently, but nothing actually was done different by our sides, which means we haven't changed any habits and so on. But I will talk about this a little bit later. Let's scoop back to the start. So to be anxious, having anxiety is actually a very tricky thing because most of us, we don't even know that we are anxious, that we have anxiety, that those overthinking thoughts are not that something that everyone experiences. We just think everyone has the same, let's say, symptoms, behaviors, thoughts. And when we just never had any other chance to live differently, we just don't even know that we have anxiety. We just think that's our character, this is who we are, this is how we are shaped, and there is nothing we can do about it. So in the previous episode, I was diving into more of how we are getting, let's say, trained from the very childhood to be a performing person, that there is no worth without a certain result, a certain doing. So we are not just being loved by existing, we are just being loved or accepted or being proud of when we reach a certain result. The trap in this whole thing is that it is very hard to reach that certain result. So there's a very, very high standards on us. And it's not that you're gonna hear every day that your parents are proud of you or some other people are proud of you. You maybe in the beginning will reach that very fast. And that is like, let's say, making you very addictive and you want to get it again. But that doesn't mean that this person will repeat the same words or the same actions just as they did in the beginning, which will keep you more into the trap. But once again, let's rebounce back and understand why we think this is right. As I was mentioning before, we don't even know that being always, in fight or flight mode, always running around, always doing something is something wrong or is something that other people don't experience. This is our only reality, which means taking care of others, reading the room, trying to lift the moods. We are constantly trying to, outperform our previous actions because we somehow need to prove over and over again that we have a certain worth. And that worth is all connected to relationships. In the beginning, it's to our parents, and then it will continue with, going to school, going to university, you're having your job, you're meeting friends, you're in relationships. This will all be linked to a certain other person, which means it's a certain outsourcement of you and how you're seen and how your worth is defined. Because once again, it is certain performance. Someone has to approve of us, of our actions, and then there will be a certain worth, there will be a certain confirmation and approval of what we have done, and then we will feel a sense of achievement. So that is all linked to different relationships. It will vary throughout our life, throughout our age, because we will see certain people, let's say, more important, others we will see less important, and that would obviously shape how much approval we want from a certain person compared to another person. So we never learned to think for us. What do we like? What is our opinion? Do we agree with everything? Because we are so constantly running and hurrying to get somewhere, and once we are getting there, we're running to another point. Again, this whole thing of performance. We don't even know what our goals and dreams are because we are so tied up to a certain schedule that someone defined for us that we are just running to achieve that. So until a certain age, you haven't even been by yourself much. You didn't have any time to rethink, decisions and goals and dreams, as the whole world is surrounded by what other people think of us. And that is actually a very, very dangerous position and situation to be in. Because when you're tied to somebody else's opinions, you need to get that approval over and over again to be able to continue with certain things and to be able to, get the dopamine and getting I achieved something. I have a worth. I'm doing something right because other people are approving of me. That means I'm doing right. That means I have to go that certain way because this is where I get approved. This is where people like me. Maybe this is where people are, accepting me in their society, into their group. So I must be doing something right. But you never ever think that this might be something wrong or something that you actually don't like. This is so out of sight. It's really more about what other people are thinking. And of course, if this is tied to somebody else, whoever that is in the current situation in life, this anxiety will keep rehappening. It's the same when, let's say, you have anxiety and you're afraid to do something or go somewhere because someone might, something very, very unexpected is going to happen. And so you're not going there because you think you will help yourself or support yourself by not going there. And in that moment, it will really feel like a relief. But the anxiety will come back double, triple times because it's actually gonna grow bigger. You think by avoiding it, it's gonna get less, but you're exactly, the opposite is going to happen. So as I was saying previously, depends on your life situation and people around you. You will keep seeking this kind of approval because what if it's gonna change and there are new people in your life? You also need to get approval by them. Because the old people maybe doesn't matter anymore. You have a new job or, you moved somewhere. If the circumstances are new, you cannot cling to old relationships and old people. You will cling to the new ones because you also want to get accepted by the new ones. Otherwise, you might think you made a mistake. So this addiction is a very, very dangerous place to be in because it basically shapes our day. It shapes our mood. It shapes how much we believe in ourselves or not believe in ourselves, what we are, pursuing in life or not, how big we're dreaming or not. Totally is covering all sides of your life, from the bigger things to the smaller things. Let's say the very obvious thing, if you did something right or you did something wrong. If you have no approval from the other person, from the other party, you will think automatically you did something wrong. You have to redo it or you totally have to go another lane. Stop this and doing something else. And then this whole approval and addiction thing coming from proudness. If someone is proud of you, so you're outsourcing that, and only if that certain person, that certain group is proud of you, you can accept yourself as someone who achieved something. If they're not proud of you, you would just accept it as it is. You would not question, maybe, let's say, they're jealous or they haven't achieved the way you have achieved. That's why they're trying to destroy it for you. You would never think that people have anything negative in their mind. You will think they just want the best for you. And if they're not proud of you, not reacting maybe the way you have expected them to react, whatever you have achieved, it's gonna mean nothing to you. And honestly, things like we as women, we, let's say, don't like about us. And if someone is pointing out certain things, let's say you're wearing something new, you're trying a new style or you're trying new colors. And if someone doesn't approve of that and you're still very insecure in your new things because you just started to wear the color pink, or you started to wear some, other type of top or some, just outfit that you have never tried to do, and you're still very new and need to get used to it. And if the people around you, the close people around you, people you really cherish the opinion, if those people don't approve, you will automatically not feel pretty. You will automatically never ever try this outfit again. You will stop wearing the color pink, and you will just never ever reconsider doing that, because in your mind, your brain will always keep telling you, hey, do you remember 2 years ago, your friend used to tell you it doesn't suit you? Maybe you're not even friends with her anymore, but let's say that will keep popping up in you, and this will create an insecurity. And as I just mentioned, it can be with colors, it can be even with makeup. If someone doesn't approve you, it can be some boyfriend, it can be some friend, you will it can be your parents. If they really can create such insecurities in you, and they will keep telling you you're wearing too much, makeup, I don't like that you're wearing makeup overall, you will stop. You will never, you will so suppress your own desires and feelings and things you like. You will always put their opinion on the top and as the most important thing to do. And whenever you, let's say, want to try something again in that direction, your brain will keep, repeating those situations back into your life. You can't wear, that lipstick or that eyeliner or something in that direction because your parents don't approve, and they will still keep not approving, or your friends didn't approve, so don't even try. So don't even try again. And this is the whole loop. If the person next to you is having a bad mood, but you woke up with a good mood, it's so sad, but in that moment, you will think bad mood is because of you. You will totally mirror everything to you. This is the whole anxiety that I was mentioning in the beginning. When you try to read the room and always try to make the people feel good, you will totally put yourself to the side like trash, and you don't care about your feelings. You just want other people to feel good and feel better. You will do everything. You will, jump on the roof. You will do everything for them to feel better. And the thing is, they will not cherish this because they know this is who you are, let's say, and you will still coming back, even if they hurt you, even though they're in a bad mood and they say something wrong to you, they will know you will accept every apology, every breadcrumb they're throwing at you, and you will come back. So life is pretty much shaped, totally shaped. And if you, let's say, and I would describe it as a very black and white situation, because you will feel such a difference between if you get the approval and if you don't get the approval, how you feel about the person, how it makes you feel in yourself, and how, let's say, how your confidence is defined by some other people. And the same thing would happen if, let's say, some person gave you in the beginning the approval, the confirmation, and suddenly stopped doing that. Like it can be in relationships with love bombing, when they in the beginning really gave everything to you and suddenly they stop, and then you are thinking you did something wrong. You want to get it back to where it used to be. So you're trying so hard, harder than even in the beginning, and you not can get it back. So this is the whole addiction thing that I was talking about. So this is really hard to understand, because if you ask people, they will not even, explain it to you. So you totally want to get back the feeling that you used to have, but this person is just not giving it to you anymore. And this whole feeling of feeling worth or feeling worthless is really, really like a real thing. Let's say you had a friendship and you're not friends with your, you guys, let's say, broke up the friendship, something happened. And if you really relied on that friend, if it was really big source of confirmation, approval to you, you would directly try to seek somebody else. You don't care if that person is a triangle and you're a circle. You will shape yourself to a triangle. You will still be the circle, but you will squeeze yourself into the triangle just to fit in, and whatever, dancing around them and entertaining them, just again to be a friend, to get approval. The same with guys. If a relationship ends, let's say he ends the relationship, you're heartbroken, you outsourced everything. You have no worth without a relationship. So you will chase. So that's why many women, when they've been in a relationship and it ended, suddenly very, very shortly after, they're busy with something else. Usually it's a relationship that is involved. Either they're super big on friendships at the moment, really going everywhere at the same time, or they jumped right into the next relationship with some random guy just to feel something again, and without even having time to process what happened, to reflect and maybe make changes. So this is a never-ending loop, a hamster wheel, you may call it. And what I was mentioning in the beginning, you will always ask yourself, why am I always ending up in the same pattern, in the same relationships, even though I meet different people? This is exactly why. Because you always outsource, you have no self-worth, no one ever taught you what is self-worth. You don't know that you're high on anxiety, that this is leading and controlling your life. You think this is who you are, but you're never ever fully satisfied because you get addicted to other people's, again, approval, and you want it again and again because you need it again and again. We are humans. We need somehow to understand what we're doing is worth, and what we're doing has some kind of meaning and some, potential and reason why we're doing things. That's why we're going to continue it. And changing is not easy. I mean, never ever changing is going to be easy. Whatever you want to tackle, whatever habit you want to slowly start to change, it will always be hard and it will always be uncomfortable. But that doesn't mean it's not worth trying. Freeing yourself only is gonna come from the fact that you realize that you don't want to keep living the way you currently live, but you can also not totally change your life in one day. This is a very ridiculous goal. No one is gonna do that. It's the same thing when you start to go to the gym on the 1st of January and you suddenly go every day, but you didn't do that before. End of the month, you're gonna stop doing it again. It's too much for you to change that extreme. You need to slowly see where things are going, slowly changing. And if you feel like this is the right way, you feel comfortable, you can increase. And sometimes we find ourselves in situations where we think there's no way we can go back. There's no way we can change because we're so much, let's say, catched up in it, so much tangled in it that we think we are never ever able. Let's say we are so addicted by a person, we never think that we can get out of it, and just step away from a person or step away from a relationship. Everything feels so extreme, always feels so emotional, but you can, because there was a time when you didn't know this person in your life and you lived a life. And there will be, fortunately, a time where you can live without that person. It's just your brain is keep telling you the most extreme, that let's say you're gonna die if this person is not approving you anymore, which is really not the truth. Catastrophizing is a really good thing the brain can do, but it's not you. It doesn't shape you. This is not who you are. You can step away. I think self-reflecting from a kind of point of view is somewhere where you can really start and maybe more observe yourself, how you're reacting, how you're doing. Again, baby steps by baby steps, and also define there and understand maybe decisions you're doing in life that you're actually not 100%, let's say, approving from your point of view, but you're doing it for the sake of other people. Just understanding, stepping aside and understanding a little bit from, let's say, another angle, what is actually going on in your life and maybe where you're satisfied and not satisfied with, especially with relationships. Are they, making you bloom, or are they making you really feel a pain in the stomach, but you're so addicted to them? So there are many things to do, but no one can change in just one night. But I would assume, and this is what I started to do, again, it took me a long time, it can be weeks, it can be months. Start slowly self-reflecting other people's behavior as well and your behavior, and start to slowly understand what is maybe you want to do, what is maybe you like, and what is maybe you would like to pursue but you have never done because you were just too afraid, or you just have been, thinking I'm too crazy, I'm not going to be able to do it, people are not going to approve me. It doesn't mean you have to do it immediately, but just, writing it down on a paper, make some notes. Maybe I would like to do this. It can be smaller dreams, it can be bigger dreams, but just, again, observing, reflecting, and just really putting it on paper, it's always going to be better than just all your millions of thoughts per day that's just rushing through your brain. If you write it down, it's more real and it's more filtered. Some of us have never ever learned to believe in themselves and to just have their own back, whatever comes in life. So it's really hard to just unwire and just start to believe in yourself suddenly. But there is a chance. Every one of us is worth, as I was mentioning already, chasing their own dreams, believing in themselves, having an own opinion, and, like standing for their opinion. It's not, going left and right because someone said so. I definitely believe in you. And I was at some point in my life as well where I was really thinking there is no turning back. There is no way I can ever see the light at the end of the tunnel, get better, be myself, be my own person, be my own character, be just me with my own opinion. But somehow I am now. So just because you think you're not worth it, that is not true. Stop telling yourself negative things. Stop thinking about yourself in a negative way, slowly, day by day. It starts with thoughts, what we think about us, and this is so strong. Like, what you think you are. This is literally true. What you think about yourself, what you think throughout the day is how you feel, is how you see the world, from what angle you see the world, and especially how you see yourself. I'm so happy that you're here, and I hope we can continue our journey together. And thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you on the next episode.